Um, so I think there were two main things that that after the course sort of stuck with me, and that I think I'm more interested in than anything else we learned about in taking into practice. And the first one was establishing a core set of values. So the the exercises we did and the discussions we had all seemed to center around having that one thing that everyone in the company and everyone on the team can get behind and buy into, and really leveraging that as a way of driving the team and the company. So I'm really interested in in getting that buy-in from everyone and having that established set of values. So that was a massive one. So the first thing. The second thing that I think I took away was the difference that effective coaching can make. So this was my first introduction to the idea of coaching versus mentoring, which was a really interesting distinction to begin with. But then by the end, it was really clear and obvious how different those things are and how important coaching is versus mentoring. So I'm very excited to try some coaching around the office. I've sort of tried a little bit of it in my personal life as well. So it's a really interesting and effective tool. So yeah, those are the two biggest takeaways. I think one of the biggest highlights for me was when we were doing the exercise surrounding getting into small groups, and then pretending as though we were all a part of a development team and coming up with that team sheet. So we would decide on what our focus was, what our goals were, what our strengths were, and then we would all fill in these sections on the sheet. And the reason that was such a highlight was that everybody was so excited to do this exercise. Everyone really got into it and was pumped to be writing down what they were going to do, how they were going to help. And it made me realize how exercises like that can be such a massive bonding experience and really important to cultivating a team that works really well together. So that was a really positive experience that jumped out, throughout the experience of the course. I mean, you guys are fantastic. I really can't. I tried to think of something along the lines of constructive criticism, but to be honest, everything was fantastic. I thought you were both, Zavit and yourself, Guy, were both professional and personable. I think you both showed a genuine interest in all of your attendees, which was really nice. So turning up early to the course and having a chat with Zavit, and how she was always very interested in how we were doing, was offering help. If there's anything she could do to help us. It was really lovely. And in terms of the actual course itself, everything was perfectly on time. Punctuality was amazing. Like, for me, that's a massive plus. Yeah, there was something else. Look, I can't think of anyone who was working in a startup company or a small business that wouldn't benefit from attending the course. Obviously, I think people from a management perspective or founders will gain more than perhaps employees, but everything there was of major benefit to me, at least. And even talking to some of the attendees afterwards, so as we were leaving and chatting amongst ourselves, they were mentioning how they sort of couldn't believe that they got as far as they had without having that kind of information, shared with them. So I think it's it speaks volumes to the quality of the content, and how valuable it would be to pretty much anybody.